Welcome. This is Shakti Carola Nevrin, your online astrologer, and online because I live on Maui, and I'm what we call an evolutionary astrologer. So I use astrology, especially when I do a birth chart interpretation, to see what is a karmic perspective, what is a soul perspective, what do you really came in to do this lifetime, and where you're heading, and where's your medicine, and how can you heal the best way. So when I do the forecast readings like today, it's more like giving you the general feelings, the general weather report for the month. And when it's moon astrology, it's really sensitizing you for what's going on inside of you. When we talk about the sun moving into the next sign, it's more like what kind of actions do you want to take. And then I talk about one of the true birthstones for the month, the sun sign. And this is helpful when you want to balance that specific principle in your chart. For example, if your sun is squared by Saturn, then you might want to know which stone is not only the stone for your sun, but also kind of balancing, relaxing that Saturn square. But today, I just want to take you over, and we're going to do the Pisces new moon, which is happening February 28th or March 1st, depending on where you are. And with my little PowerPoint presentation, you will be taught a little bit in a very structured manner. So I hope you will enjoy, and make sure you hang in there till the end when I get to the very practical suggestions, because my sun is at the very end of Taurus, so I'm very practical, and I try to bring in those rules and cosmic energies into a very applicable version of what you can do with it, how it can serve you the best. Over here we will talk about the new moon in Pisces, and in general about the Piscean qualities and what that means, especially if you have several planets in the sign. But all of us will have to deal with those qualities of Pisces with the new moon evolving. So we will talk about the new moon in Pisces, which is happening February 28th or March 1st, depending on where you are. We will talk in depth about the Piscean archetype and personality, and then, of course, get to the very practical suggestions, how to ride the Piscean wave of cosmic energies. This is Shakti Carola Nevrin, your host for today, and I am what we call evolutionary astrologer. So I feel very passionate about astrology, and my intentions for the video is to educate and inspire you to dive deeper into astrology. I have been personally doing astrology for 35 years, and I just love it. So I hope to move you deeper into the mysteries. The new moon will be happening at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that will actually be at 11 degree Pisces. So if you have any planets like the sun or other planets close to that degree, you will feel this new moon especially strongly, and it will especially strongly to invite you and stimulate you to bring the qualities of that planet in that degree forward. This is a very special new moon in Pisces, because first of all, we have 4 planets in Pisces, and we're coming to the end of the astrological year, which closes out with Pisces. And then with Aries and the spring equinox, we're starting into a new cycle. You might ask yourself, why even bother with lunar astrology? And for me, it's always the moon is so visible. So the moon cycle waxing and waning, we can truly observe. We can feel the different phases. I mean, most of us have really a keen observation of the full moon and not sleeping as well, and hearing the cats yowling out there. And so if we follow the cycles of the moon throughout the months, halfway conscious, it gives us a very aligned and aware access to our inner world of feelings. And often we're not quite that in touch with our feelings. We might have thoughts which stimulate feelings, but just following the moon around the phases, we can develop what I call a form of emotional intelligence. So we're just more in touch with who we are inside and how we can bring ourselves in a more fulfilling and joyous way into the world. When I do readings and I present the moon in the chart, in the birth chart of somebody, I pay a lot of attention to that, because the moon represents the inner world of emotions, how we perceive the world through that emotional channel. And we have to live our moon in accordance to the position of our birth chart, because the moon ultimately is the source of joy and happiness. So if you do the moon right, we have that sense of safety, security, alignment, and joy in our life. A new moon is always a new beginning, like the slate is wiped clean and we start onto a new level. So here the new moon is, as always, a chance for emotional growth and integration of a new subject, a new cycle of growth. And of course, that will be defined by the sign the new moon is in. So here the new moon is in the last sign of the zodiac, Pisces. So, and at the end of the astrological year. So here we are really invited and asked to integrate, to come to the wisdom perspective, to have a more spiritual, mystical view onto life. When we talk about the mysteries of Pisces, we truly talk about the mysteries, because that's kind of the back and bone of Pisces, that it describes everything what is in the invisible and the divine and the underlying realm of creation. So the Piscean archetype is the 12th sign, the last sign in the zodiac. So things are definitely finishing up. As the last one of the water signs, Pisces is a sign where we learn about surrender, about letting go, about transcendence, about what is non-physical but nevertheless strongly and truly impacting us. The Pisces personality. So Pisces is ruled by Neptune. In the old astrology, it was Jupiter. So nowadays we kind of use both, but Neptune is kind of the transcendent dimension of Pisces. The Neptune in your chart is the archetype of the mystic, is where your window opens to the divine. It's where you receive inspiration. With Pisces, we look at the spiritual seeker, the dreamer, the hermit, the poet, the seer, and the visionary. So these are all principles pulling on the mystical aspect of Pisces. And they're all kind of pulling on those qualities of having access to oneness, a sense of connection with everything what lives, a sense of unconditional love. So Pisces, being the 12th sign of the zodiac, kind of has gone through all those steps of evolution. So there's a lot of integration what has happened. So out of that, truly unconditional love can arise, because you have been there, you know how hard it can be. And with that, we truly can experience empathy. We have that inner heart connection, that sense of connection with the joys and the suffering of others. Then the Piscean archetype is one to be solitary. So here we have the mystic who meditates in the caves for a few years. Even if you live in the so-called normal world and you have, for example, a Piscean sun, you do need to have some time to be solitary, time to be alone, time to dive into your inner world. And when you allow yourself that, this is where true inspiration can flow in. This is where the poetry is coming from, music, the arts. This is a dimension you want to be open as an artist or anybody who has a Piscean bent. So with the new moon in Pisces, we all need a little more time for ourselves this month. If you have Piscean planets, you definitely need time for meditation and that nebulous connection with the divine. The mood of Pisces is they're really sensitive. They're very attuned to the non-physical dimension of life and what's kind of the underlying frequency. And they usually have a real deep capacity to be very loving because of that inner sense of connection. They do have a nice sense of humor, which comes from that higher wisdom perspective and not taking life or themselves too important. And they are very empathic, which makes them usually very great friends or partners to have. When we talk about the inner reigning need for Pisces and the key to happiness, it is really to immerse themselves into the non-physical dimension of life, to give that dimension time and attention. So any kind of meditation, of meditative trance time, which could be playing your guitar or painting a picture or sitting in the garden or tending to your roses. This is all part of it. And then another key is the visionary imagination. So because of that mystical bent of Pisces and that higher wisdom perspective, Pisces can really carry the vision. They can become great spiritual teachers and healers for others. And of course, they can be kissed by the muses, and then it goes into the channel of becoming an artist, of channeling their inner connection to the invisible higher realms that way. As all signs, Pisces has a shadow too, and that would be the addict. Escapism in general. It can be workaholism, anything we do too much in order to narcotize and escape. Another shadow is because Pisces doesn't have a strong self of ego, of self, and that can backfire. So we can look at the low end of Pisces as somebody who has no backbone, who is kind of a lost soul, somebody who is perceived by others as the helpless one. And last not least, one of the big shadows of Pisces is the possibility to just dream, to just have great and big dreams, but never come to fulfill them, to come nearer to them, because there's no action. So the high potential of Pisces, of course, is they have dreams and they're very inspired. But then it does take action. It does take focus. It does take applying ourselves to get somewhere. The evolutionary goal for Pisces is to develop disidentification with the ego. So imagine the soul has gone through 12 steps of evolution, each sign symbolizing another area of issues and subjects to deal with and to integrate. And in the 12th sign, that tight connection, that tight identification with this is all I am, this bag of skin and bones, this kind of starts falling away. And out of that comes the surrender to the divine, the deep inner connection to life is good, everything is unfolding according to the divine plan. So let's get to the practical suggestions for this new moon in Pisces. And I would like to suggest to you to ask yourself some questions. So first one is, do you make time for your own spiritual growth? So even if you don't have planets in Pisces and just deal with a new moon in Pisces, we all are souls on a spiritual journey. So how attuned are you to that? Do you make time to even give that room? Or another one, are you making your spiritual growth a priority? And then we all have areas in our life where we could use to get a little more attuned. So where do you need to learn to get more attuned? Is it in your relationship? Is it in how you connect with your friends? How you connect with your co-workers? So this is really a wonderful month to feel into your being and find what is your vision for your life. What is truly important? And it's definitely not the bank account, even if that kind of gets pushed into the forefront of our life these days with all the economical struggles we are facing. But what is truly satisfying for your soul? Where are you going or not going? To get more answers to those questions and more access to your inner soul guidance, I suggest you start a dream journal, because dreams are a wonderful way to connect with what is more or less in our unconscious mind. So our soul often gives us dreams, brings things in our consciousness through it. And then another way, which I found very valuable, is to do morning pages. So that means first thing, getting up, maybe having your coffee or tea, but then you sit down and you do longhand writing in your journal. And these morning pages are very strong and powerful because you're still so open. You just came out of the divine, of a deeper connection with your soul, your higher self. So by doing the morning pages, you will have more and truly deep insights into what drives you, what is important for you, where is your life going. And then, of course, our status of health is always an interesting part of our journey. So Pisces and Neptune are connected with the lymphatic system, which is kind of our drainage system. It cleans out our toxins. So also the pineal gland, the feet and toes, and the appendix are represented by Pisces and Neptune. I have talked about the 4 aspects of staying healthy and taking care for yourself on a regular basis. But today in the foreground with the Piscean energy is really the detoxification. So to reorganize yourself and take a step to detoxify. And maybe that's the reason why lots of people do some kind of cleanses at this time of the year to really clean out the body and help to get the junk out. And of course, the other important aspects to continuous health is support nutrition, organic food, non-GMO, oxidization through breathing exercises, yoga, and exercising, moving your body, get your heart rate up there, using those muscles, not just by sitting in front of the computer. So all that stuff is important, but the emphasis is on detoxification this month. As an astrologer and gemstone expert, I truly believe that amethyst is one of the most important Piscean birthstones. So, but then to really truly know what's your personal birthstone, and even if you're Pisces, you also want to need in which house that sun position is and how it's aspected inside your birth chart. So I will do another video just about the metaphysical quality of amethyst, but here we can say it's really a stone which has a lot of cleansing frequencies and activities for us. It connects us with our divine guidance, and it helps to bring in those levels of inspiration into our daily life. I am in favor that you not only reach your goal and be happy then, but that you enjoy the energies, the journey to get there. So here the energies you want to enjoy and integrate are all the Piscean qualities we have discussed. So I would really suggest that you take extra time for yourself, for being on your own, to meditate, to find your vision, to open your heart and your mind for those inner guidances you can receive from your own soul, from your own higher self. So I hope you enjoy, and see you soon. If you haven't done so yet, now it's a good time to sign up for your subscription, so you will be kept informed whenever I have a new forecast video ready and up. So please subscribe if you like my work. You can also go to my website, mauiastrologyreading.com, to sign up for my newsletter, which will also give you a free report for your love stone based on your birth chart. So if you love gemstones, why don't you do that? And of course, if you liked the material I presented, please like me. Again, this is how you can reach me. I'm living in Hawaii, so my phone number is 808-878-8182, or you can go to my website, mauiastrologyreading.com. So if you're interested in a personal reading, that's how you can reach me. I have been doing astrology for 35 years, so I have a lot of experience, and I really, really love to do this work because I see again and again how much of a difference it can make in somebody's life to have that kind of high wisdom and evolutionary perspective. So call me, and we can do our reading through Skype online, and you can come visit me here on Maui. So as we say here, aloha, and thank you for visiting, and I see you soon.